Chef Daniela Oliveira here at Mountain View Cooking School from Harmons. Today we are going to be cooking chicken burrito bowls. We're going to use our pressure cooker and let's get started. Okay, so first let's go over all the ingredients we are using today. We have yellow diced onions, cumin, coriander, chili powder, dried oregano, dried cilantro, cayenne pepper. We do have some minced garlic, our chicken stock, some corn from a can, and then some black beans from a can. They're both drained, okay? We also have diced chili, and this is fire roasted. And we do have basmati rice today, okay? This recipe we usually do long grain white rice, but I'm substitute for basmati. I really like this rice. It is a slender grain, has less starch. It has a nutty flavor, and because of that, I don't need to rinse it because of the less starch. So I do like the texture when using this one, okay? All right, we will start by setting our pressure cooker and saute or browning that feature there, making sure it heats up. We are going to add a little bit of canola oil to that pan, and we're going to let it heat up for a little bit. Then our first ingredients will be our onions, okay? I'm going to add my onions. I'm going to let it sweat. What the sweat means, I'm just going to cook for maybe about 2 minutes until it's kind of translucent. We are not looking for color necessarily here, okay? Beautiful. So I forgot to mention our chicken. So our chicken, I'm using chicken breast. I did cut our chicken breast in about thirds, like big pieces, because once I put in my pressure cooker, I don't want my chicken to overcook. I want it to keep, maintain the moist over it. So that's why I'm doing bigger pieces. If you want to use chicken thighs, you can definitely substitute for that as well, okay? While we are heating up our onions, I am going to also start my oil, and I'll tell you why. We are going to use some garnishes for our burrito, okay? Chicken burrito bowl. And they are right here. So we have salsa, fresh salsa, some sour cream, fresh limes, cilantro, and a blend of Mexican cheese and pepper jack. Okay, I like to add pepper jack to give a little, punch and little peppery flavor to our dish. Okay, so our oil is heating up because we are going to do our garnish. So let me go grab it here really quickly. So I like to add different textures to my dishes. So it is a juicy, we have different flavors, but I think it's missing like crunch. Okay, we have some cool elements, cheese. So I decided to add a little bit of a wonton. So it's pot stickers pretty much. They come in circular shape or square. It doesn't matter which one you buy. So what I did is just roll them together, maybe 5 little sheets like this. Grab my knife, and I'm just going to slice it really thin, okay, like chiffonade, that's the name of this cut. And then I'm going to fry it, and that's going to be my garnish for the top of my chicken burrito bowl. We can also use corn tortillas, and I do have some that I've already done the same thing. You just roll it and cut it in strips and you fry. You can use it either or you can use both. It's totally up to you. I'm going to wait for my oil to heat up a little bit before I fry those little guys. I do have a little station here with some paper towel and a little, I call this spider, just so I can collect my fried product and drain as much as the oil as I can, and then put it on my paper towel so it will also absorb some more of the fat. Okay, I'm going to leave this in the back for now. My oil is not hot yet. The temperature should be around 350 degrees for your oil, you can definitely use those candy thermometers if you prefer. You can attach to the side of your pan. I'm using a Dutch oven. You can use electrical fryer or just a regular pan with a little bit of canola oil or sesame seed oil, just oil that will stand heat, okay? Has a high smoke point. Okay, let's check our onions again. So yes, they are nice and beautiful. I can start adding my chicken. So I'm gonna add all my chicken, and I'm just looking for a little bit of color, because again, it's going to finish cooking with the pressure. Okay, let's let this cook. Let me grab a, sorry, I'm back. So I'm just grabbing a little tray to keep my spatula here, and it has a little bit of raw chicken, so I don't want it to contaminate my station. Okay, so let's see if our oil is hot enough while our chicken is cooking. Okay, and you can test with your thermometer, or you can kind of slowly, and you can see the bubbles are starting to form around your wonton. So maybe like 5 seconds, which is already passed, should be enough time for me to add my wontons in there, okay? So just gonna add my wontons there. And they will cook pretty quickly. They will float to the surface. I can use my little spider to kind of move it around so it's going to fry evenly. And multitasking here, let's check my chicken. So I'm going to kind of stir it a little bit. And look at that. Nice bubbling. It's starting to change color. I'm looking for a light golden color for my wontons. Okay. It's almost there. And, okay, since we are multitasking, why not start this other thing here? You guys wonder why I have a little pot here. I'm just turning it on, and I'm going to put a little bit of oil there, okay? And then we'll go back to that in a little bit. Let's check our chicken. Okay, it needs a couple more minutes. It will take about 5 minutes for the whole process. And I am going to kind of take this away because I don't need this right now. Keep stirring my chicken, making sure all the surface is kind of sauteed, like has a little bit of color. And I think my wontons are kind of good to go. If you like it a little darker, you can definitely keep it a little longer. If you like this color, it's already cooked, should be good enough. I'm going to add my corn tortillas now to my oil. Oh, look at that. Nice and hot, bubbly. That's where we are looking for. I'm going to mix it again to make sure it's not stuck together and we have evenly light golden brown color. So I'm going to put my wonton here, so it's going to kind of drain the oil for a little bit. And let's check our chicken again. Okay, I think that should be pretty nice, okay? Just a little bit of color, not too much. It's still pretty raw because, again, it's going to finish cooking in the pressure cooker. We don't want it to cook for too long because we don't want it to overcook. So now we are going to start adding our spices. So I have my cumin, my coriander, my chili powder. With my oregano, I always like to kind of smash a little bit. It just releases a little bit of the fragrance and the flavor for your oregano, so I like to do that. I am doing dry cilantro as well. Cayenne pepper, okay? I'm holding off on the garlic just because I don't want my garlic to burn. So let's just make sure our tortillas is not burning either. I'm going to let the tortilla cook for a little bit longer so you can kind of see the difference in color that you can go, okay? So I put all my dry, let's go back to our chicken, and I am stirring, making sure that all that deliciousness is coating my chicken. Oh, guys, it smells so good. I wish you could smell it. Okay, so it's all beautiful coated. So now I'm going to add my garlic, okay? Minced garlic from our produce department, ready for you if you don't like, messing up with chopping garlic, and so you can buy it already minced and ready for you. Okay, I will leave like maybe a minute there so I can attend my corn tortillas. I think it has a nice color. What do you guys think? Same thing that with the wontons. If you want a little darker, you can. But I'm going to kind of drain it. Put again in the paper towel so again absorbs all that fat. Be crispy and nice for our garnish. Okay. So I'm going to turn my oven off. I'm going to check here. Get my garlic. It cooked a little bit. So now I'm going to deglaze my pan. What is deglazing? It's just pretty much adding liquid to your pan to kind of collect all the beautiful flavor that is, built in the bottom, which is called fond. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm putting my chicken stock. And you can do water if you want, but I always like to use chicken stock to add that flavor. Okay? So next I'm going to add my corn. You can use frozen corn if you prefer. And I'm using my black beans from a can. I will show you guys how to use dry beans though. Okay? It's very easy. It's cheaper and the flavor is delicious. So keep an eye for it, okay? I will definitely have another class showing you how a Brazilian does black beans, okay? All right, so let me move this away. So we have more room here. I'm gonna do my chilies as well. I'm going to mix it, make sure that it's all kind of combined. I'm gonna adjust my seasoning by adding a little bit of salt, kosher salt, and a little bit of pepper. I did add a little bit of salt and pepper to my chicken with a little bit of oil and a little bit of lemon juice, kind of to marinate for a little bit before I add it to my pan. So that's why I'm adding a little less salt and pepper to my recipe. Okay, so last thing, I'm going to add my basmati rice. So it's about a cup, right? And I did so the ratio is about a cup of rice for a cup of 2 cups of liquid. I don't want to stir my rice too much. I'm just going to make sure it's covered with liquid. And I feel like it needs like a little bit more liquid there, so I'm going to add just maybe a tablespoon of water. Because again, the chicken will release some juice, and will make up for the liquid to cook our rice. Okay, so that's really nice. I'm going to put my lid. Okay, make sure it's locked. Make sure my valve is locked. Then let me remove this as well. So I'm going to go back to my setting, and this is a Cuisinart. So I'm going to put start. Then I'm going to go menu, and I'm going to do high pressure, and I'm going to do my time, 8 minutes. Then I'm going to press start again. Okay. So just a reminder, the 8 minutes on a pressure cooker, it starts counting after the pressure is built. Okay. So it will take a few minutes for the pressure to build, and then we'll cook your rice. All right. Any questions? Okay. So I'm going to remove my oil because I'm not going to need it right now. Let me make sure I have some hot pads so I don't burn my hands. And let's continue what I was starting here. So while our bean is cooking, our chicken burrito bowl is cooking, I am going to show you how to cook rice Brazilian style, okay? And the thing is, people do rice with, like in their rice cooker, and they just add rice and water, right? Pretty much, and steam it. I am using a different type of rice just to kind of compare difference. Again, I'm going to be showing you a whole bunch of different rices and how to cook them, because we do have a variety of dry grains and legumes and beans that we don't use as much as we could, you know. So I'm going to be sharing how to cook those things in the next segments, in the next class that we're going to be doing online. So today I'm just focused on my basmati rice that I've already talked about, and I'm doing just the regular white long grain rice. The difference is this rice, very common. It's not as slender as the basmati, and is much starchier than my basmati rice. So I did rinse it, okay? I wash it under cold water with a strainer, rinse it, and it did came a little bit of white water, the starch, right? And then I let it drain, so that's what I have here. And you can see the grain is a little whiter, so that will help me with my texture. So the next thing is I put a little bit of oil there, and then I'm going to put my onions. And again, I'm just going to sweat my onions. I don't want my rice to have any color, so I'm just going to cook for maybe a couple minutes just until it's transparent. And then I'm going to add my garlic and salt and pepper, of course. Okay, 30 seconds, no more than that. Ratio, 1 cup of rice for about 2 cups of water. I have a trick that my grandma taught me when cooking rice to come like perfectly. It's, even though I measure the 2 cups, when I add that water to my rice, I will put about 1 inch of water above my rice. So it might be a little less than the 2 cups, but that trick works beautifully, okay? So beautiful. I'm gonna add my garlic now, like really 5 seconds just to integrate with my onions. And here is the secret, guys. I'm going to add my rice, and I'm going to cook my rice for a couple, maybe a minute, not very long. So I'm going to coat my rice with all the flavor, the onions, the garlic. Sometimes here you know this by pilaf rice, is when you add flavor to your rice. You can do vegetables, you can do a lot of things, or you can do like fried rice. But this is how Brazilians do rice all the time. We do have the onions and the garlic to season that. But that's it, very simple. And I'm just going to cook for a couple of, maybe, I don't know, less than a minute, okay? A couple seconds here, just to make sure that that is all, my rice has oil and is coated all around, okay? So let's add the water now. I'm going to do hot water, okay? So I am adding, that's the noise that I want. So see, if you look inside my pan, it's pretty nice. It's about this much above my rice. So almost all, but I left a little bit of water there. Okay, so I'm going to add my salt, kosher salt. I always use kosher salt, about a pinch. Then a little bit of pepper, just a tiny bit. Okay, so I'm going to reduce my heat. I'm going to find a lid. I'm back. I'm going to put it there, and I'm going to let it. It will take about 15 to 20 minutes to cook. My pressure is starting to build in my pressure cooker, so it should be ready in about 8 minutes. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. Okay, our chicken burrito is done. So our pressure, 8 minutes, and I did let it natural release. So it takes another, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes. So I'm making sure that there's no pressure left on. It will not open because it's very safe. But you want to make sure you can move the valve and make sure there's no pressure in there anymore. So I'm going to open my pan. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. So I'm going to add a little bit of my cheese on top here just because I want it to melt, okay? So you can put the lid back and kind of wait for maybe a couple minutes just so that steam, that heat will melt your cheese, okay? But I'm going to plate it right away because I'm very excited about this dish. Okay, so I'm going to scoop, look at that piece of chicken. Oh, so nice and moist. I'm going to do 2 pieces of chicken. How about that? Really nice. Okay. Oh, look at that cheese. Woo. Okay, so I'm going to so I have some salsa, fresh salsa. This one is the mild one from our produce department. Make it fresh every day. So I'm going to put about 2 tablespoons of that in there. I'm going to put couple of lime on the side here. I'm going to put a little bit more cheese just to finish it up. A little bit of fresh cilantro on top. About a tablespoon of sour cream on the side there. So I have some fresh avocado as well. I'm going to do like maybe a shingle 3 slices over there. And I think I used all my garnish. Forgot my wontons or my corn tortilla. So that's my crispy element. I'm going to put it on top. And voila, that's our chicken tortilla, chicken burrito bowl with our crispy wonton. Or you can do the corn tortilla as well. So let's pick on our rice. Oh, look at that. It's almost ready. See how nice and the water is absorbed. So I am going to just show you guys. Look at how nice and fluffy that is. Okay, I still have a little bit of water left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my heat off. Okay, I'm going to put my lid back on and the steam will finish cooking. We'll dry the water that we have there, and we can use this for my next recipe that will be turkey chili beans. Okay, see you next time. And make sure all the recipes are in our website, okay? harmonsgrocery.com. We have all the ingredients, everything, different tips on how to do things in a regular pot instead of a pressure cooker. So go and check us out. Thank you.